was feuding. So it's like
I don't care about that. You bringing up him and arguing with Chris Paul, I care about that.
But you praising this series as if this series was significant when it didn't even mean anything to his teammates, and then other players performed better. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Who performed better than
Kawhi against that team?
He performed. That was one game. You see this?
I gave you two scenarios.
And then he's bringing up Toronto when KD tore his Achilles. Not only KD tore his Achilles, I think Clay tore his shit.
Right, but you have Kawhi and who else? You got Steph Curry, you got Clay, you got J.Harden, and then you got.
He had the same team that beat the Milwaukee Bucks. He had the same team that beat Jimmy Butler and the Philadelphia 76ers.
You got a dynasty, and Kawhi Leonard is a new dude to a new team. You know what I mean? So this is James Harden with his franchise, and then he gets an all-star player like Chris Paul, and then Chris Paul, and the best thing he could do is lose. In the conference to the Golden State Warriors.
So which Golden State Warriors?
To the Warriors. To the champions.
So which Golden State Warriors?
To the champions.
Which one? Put context in it. The KD Warriors.
Yeah, the champions.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you put how great that team was?
Yeah, and I'm saying you're not listening. You're not listening.
Go ahead.
What's your top five?
What's your five, bro?
He's back.
Jordan, Kobe, D Wade, James Harden. AI. That's my five right there. And I don't really count AI I never put AI in the top point guard list, and I never put him in the top shooting guard list. Like for some reason he's like a hybrid of me. I put him in a hybrid list with like Kyrie and the Steve Francis and these other niggas. I don't really put them in like the
Aaron Davis.
Yeah, I'll put them there. I don't really put them in the point guard list, the shooting guard list, because it'll be unfair for both of them.
I'm kind of I hear you, because that's.
It'll be so we need a combo list.
Yeah, you can put it there, but it'll be unfair to judge them against those players.
Their primary position was. Because if anything, if you're gonna do that, then James Harden, he's a combo too, because he's a point guard.
That's why it's
and his dominant years was point guard.
That's why it's a little
So you can't put him shooting guard.
That's why it looks more when you mention James Harden as part of that list, it's for different ways that you would have judged the Kobe's, the D Wade's, because
James Harden a shooting guard.
No, he's a shooting. To me, he's a shooting guard. That's why I put him
in.
But when you mention like the AIs and and these other players, they kind of hybrid to me. So it'll be unfair to judge Kyrie against the point guards of.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm saying James Harden was hybrid as well.
I agree.
So they both was hybrid. If you're gonna knock Allen, then you gotta knock James Harden. Let's have the conversation about.
And I kind of do. I kind of do to a point. Like I don't really consider James at the prime of his career, he was more of a point. Like he was the one handling the board in Houston.
D Wade was fake hybrid too.
He was, but D Wade was a shooting guard.
That's comfortable.
Like D Wade was more of a shooting guard. He couldn't run too much of the playmaker.
That's comfortable.
So James Harden was more of the playmaker. Like Jordan and Kobe, they were scorers and they had people with that responsibility to do it for them. James was more like the one, and when he was in his prime. So it's kind of like weird. But James Harden is definitely part of my top 5 shooting guards of all time, just because at the peak of his time, of James Harden, nobody was touching James. There was nobody in the league guarding James Harden.
Who you got Jason Tatum? Is he a 2 guard to you, or is he a 3?
If I had to put it, because now it's so positionless that threes is running forwards and stuff like that.
Now,
but
sure.
Jason Tatum is a small forward. He's a 3.
Because I was gonna say, if you say he's still a 2.
That's a big ass
definitely
two.
Not over James Harden.
That's a big ass two.
Well, that's what we get.
Paul George he's a small forward. He's a 3. Paul George he can play 2. You see his position is now niggas be like, yo, he a 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Like now it's more like that.
It was always there's names for it though. It's wing players and shit like that. So
wings is 3, 4.
Paul George is wing, but on the court, depending he was playing with Danny Green, he's gonna play with 2.
Funny because back then, the wings was considered the power forward, small forward. Now in today's days, the wings considered shooting guard, small forward. Now power forward is just rolling around whatever they do.
I say that to say truthfully, I just want us to rehash that part, bro. I think a lot of our people that watch that's the NBA today, they get caught up in oh, they just scored 40, he got 50, oh shit, he scored 8 threes. But when you really look at what niggas is doing, it's not that impressive, bro.
Yeah,
And
like
I feel that way about James Harden. I love him. I respect you, but bro, you didn't necessarily do enough, gang, to be solidified there.
Absolutely, and that's what happened with his MVP season, I believe. He played against OKC in the first round, and then the second round he lost to the San Antonio Spurs and Kawhi Leonard.
I think the second best player he had that year was Eric Gordon.
But my thing is like he has.
You gonna hold him accountable for that?
He gotta win.
I mean,
MVP.
LaMelo Ball gotta win too.
LaMelo-
Cunningham gotta win.
LaMelo-
Come on,
but
big.
they not
Like,
MVP.
Jimmy Butler. Like who else? Like
They're not MVPs.
They gotta play too.
They are not MVPs. When we talking about MVP, and then when we get to the playoffs, right? Normally the MVP. Didn't they used to announce the MVP at the conference finals?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they doing it at the
Yeah.
beginning of the playoffs, right? Because we expected the MVP to get to the conference finals, most likely the finals.
sometimes
right?
it was just a press conference.
Right. But that's expected. That's the reason why they had it there, right? Because we expected.
It wasn't expected.
But
It
that's-
wasn't always expected.
Should
Trust.
be.
But
Trust it wasn't. No,
I'm
that
assuming-
year Kobe won MVP, niggas
No,
did not
I'm
expect
talking
him
about
to
Kobe.
get to
I'm
the
talking
finals.
about the reason why they had it set up from initiation. I'm assuming logically, like the best player in the league is expected to go to long run distance in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So James Harden didn't. So this is all.
So
I'm
then
saying.
a lot of MVPs didn't do it.
Either
I mean,
or,
MVP won the title.
and that's what I'm saying. They not that. We're not talking about them other dudes who are not great.
But it's
We're talking
true.
about
How many
James Harden right
MVPs
now.
won the title? that
Oh,
year?
we
It's
talking about
true.
James Harden
When
right
KD
now.
won that first one,
He won the title?
Exactly, he didn't.
That's
And
why
that's
they
our
need to
point.
change.
And that's pretty much
He
what
wasn't
that's what
there.
I'm
That's,
saying.
that's why they need to change the award. It needs to be an MVP and a best season award. They're two different awards.
What you mean? That is the most valuable player.
No, it's not.
Whoever had the best season.
Yeah.
It's not the best player. It's
So
the best season.
okay. So last year, Joel Embiid, before he got hurt, was having the most statistical best
The criteria
season
changed.
of any player, right? But because he didn't play a certain amount of games, he was ineligible.
They're right. They're
I
right.
get
You
you.
can't play 20 games and win MVP.
No, he didn't play 20.
Facts.
He didn't play 20.
50.
But if he would have played the 65 games or whatever, unanimous MVP.
Bro, he not even to the
I mean, if he played 65, then yeah. But he didn't.
And he had the most. He had the best
This
statistical
is another
season of all
example. This is
time.
another example. So he performed so well. And imagine if he did play the 65, right?
Right.
He performed so well in the regular season. Joel Embiid, oh my God, he put up these numbers. We running off of FanDuel and we getting his chicken off of Joel Embiid. I remember that year, right? And then what happened in the playoffs?
Gone.
He was chopped up that whole playoffs,
Stop,
right?
bro.
Same
He had
thing.
Bell's palsy.
Now we're gonna blame the palsy.
He was
Right.
limping. It's the same
Right.
thing we see with James Harden performing
Now we
real
blame
well
the
in the
palsy.
regular season.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs,
Got to.
James Harden is always where's Harden?
That palsy wasn't bugging in the
But
regular season.
you a big coach guy, so I don't know.
You
which-
holding the
which
Bell's
coach-
palsy against him, eh?
No.
I don't know which coach you've seen
Don't use it now.
that ever coached James Harden. Like, that was ever to that point where he was gonna take him to the chip.
We're not gonna hold it to the coaches. We're not gonna hold it to the coaches.
I mean, you
James
do
Harden-
everybody else.
No.
James
You
Harden
just
is
added
similar
Steve
to
Kerr
LeBron.
as somebody that went up against Kawhi, right?
No, I'm saying this is what Kawhi had to play against. Same thing that James Harden had to play against. Kawhi performed better compared to James Harden. Is all I'm trying to tell you.
Also, James Harden had D'Antoni, Eric Gordon, Trevor Ariza.
So now we saying this is
But
your
that- but
argument.
What about the years he had Dwight Howard?
Your argument is saying that everybody that he played, you saying you trashing his teammates and his coaches
I'm
in
not
order to
trashing
say
it.
that he's so
No,
good.
I'm not trashing. That's the team you expected to win.
No, you saying Trevor
Nah,
Ariza is
the-
bad. You say every
Nah,
Gordon is
Jim,
trash.
he's
You
putting it,
saying
it sounds like you diminishing it.
No, no.
Everybody around him to say that James Harden is good, and it's the reason he's so good that he couldn't do it because everybody around him is trash.
No, first of all, when you're comparing a championship team, you just said to yourself, you got to play next to a co-star. A co-star that can also deliver next. If you're the only guy that has to deliver, that can only deliver, none of y'all sitting here is expecting Eric Gordon to give you 25 in the playoffs consistently. None of y'all is expecting Trevor Ariza to give you 20 in the playoffs consistently. None of y'all is expecting Jeremy Lin to give you 25 in the playoffs consistently. None of y'all here are.
So James Harden never had.
So don't tell me
he
about
never had-
diminishing
he never had
his
no
teammates.
Team. He never had no team.
So what about
What team?
He never
What
had
about
a
when
team.
I'm
he,
asking you.
What about when he lost to LeBron when he was on OKC?
That was you talking about Young Harden, right?
I don't give a fuck what he was.
You talking about Young Harden?
I don't give a fuck
He
what he
lost.
was.
But then how many of your shooting guards lost in the finals too?
So why we giving Harden number 4 ranking?
Because at
If
his
he never-
peak,
Something he
hold on.
didn't do.
At James,
right?
no, but none of AI
What did he
AI
do?
do something.
Yeah, bro.
He made it to the
He's
finals
both,
and got a
right.
game off Kobe and
That's what I'm
Shaq.
saying. He put his.
Oh,
he put his
okay.
stamp.
Oh, but like, what makes
Okay,
James
but
Harden?
taking Golden State KD Warriors to 7 games in. Okay.
And what round? And what round?
I mean,
And what round, Jay? No.
In
In what round though?
the Western Conference Finals.
But what makes James Harden number 4?
To me, because at his peak, at James Harden's peak, there was only 3 shooting guards better than him. At his peak, all time.
Wait, when you say his peak, what was his peak measured?
34
No,
and
we're not talking
14.
about his number. What was his peak measured against, right? So you're talking about you brought up the numbers. So you're talking about his regular season numbers?
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, so-
his numbers statistically.
Right, so you're saying the regular season numbers, right?
Yeah.
So his regular season numbers, so you're comparing those regular season numbers against those regular season teams, right?
I mean, a lot of them.
And that's his peak, right? You're saying those teams in that, what year was that?
2016. I believe.
Okay, yeah.
So-
No, 2016, 17.
So 2016-17, all the teams in the league was optimal, and James Harden was competing so well, and he performed, and he came up with 34 and something like this, and this is the reason why he's number 4.
At the peak,
Because you saying this is his peak, and my question to you is, who was his peak? Who was he playing against his
His peak could be towards any shooting guard who ever played the game.
No, you're saying at 2016,
At
his
his
peak, he was playing against these people and he performed well. So
No, that's
who
not
was
what I
these
said.
people?
I said at his peak, there wasn't a lot of shooting guards in all time that ever touched James
I
Harden at his
got
peak.
that point. I'm asking you. You saying you giving me his peak, which was his MVP season, right? You giving me the regular season, right? So that means we got to talk about his competition.
His MVP year was the year he lost to the San Antonio Spurs.
Right, but you talking about his regular season. You're not talking about the playoffs. So you're talking about his peak as a regular season performer, right? His peak. So who was his competition in the regular season?
The
'Cause
30
that's-
NBA teams.
Right. All right. So this was optimal performance, and according to your position, according to what you believe according to what you believe, this was like optimal competition, and then we gotta rank this guy number 4 because he beat 29 other teams that was stacked,
That one season.
and he dropped 30 something. This is how you drawing the pitch out to me,
I mean,
or did he play against was this just a regular season?
it was in the regular season. He lost in the playoffs. He lost in the playoffs.
But you talk about his regular season. So was his competition in the regular season, was this like great competition, or was this just like, well, I'm actually like his competition, was this like the best regular season that we ever seen and everybody was playing at their best
Was it a
level?
statistical
Or
year
was
for
this
him?
just a regular season that he performed well statistically?
It was a regular season that he performed well.
All right, bet. So we saying that his regular season that he performed well statistically is comparing him with everybody else shooting guards of all time. We taking this one regular season and ranking him number 4.
I mean, y'all put AI and Reggie Miller in there.
But we
But
talking about their career.
But, all right,
Their whole career,
so
yeah.
no. You tell me what did AI? What year statistically in the playoffs did AI prove the same criteria he just used? Which year AI proved that to you? That got him number 4 or 5?
Against Kobe and Shaq.
Don't answer it like that, because we
Yeah,
don't got him at we not
I got
ranking
it.
we not ranking him off of 1 year. You ranking you ranking Michael Jordan off of his career. You ranking Kobe off his career.
Off their peak.
You ranking off of their career. This is the reason why.
It's not peak.
No,
It's
but-
off the career.
Everybody got the
That's
career,
the-
but James Harden got
They
the
win.
peak.
Right.
Because
Y'all don't.
Why is Harden getting peak?
I never told y'all about why Jordan and D Wade and Kobe and them. Y'all put it to chips.
Nah.
Who
Right.
was the champ?
Cause I mean, that's
so why would you have Michael Jordan at number 1? What's his ranking for number 1? What did he do? What was his peak?
Jackson.
he's the greatest winner who ever played.
Winner, right? So that means you talking
scoring,
about
at Jordan at his peak. Who was touching Jordan?
his
Actually, there's more shooting guards that got more chips than Jordan, but okay.
At Jordan, that's what I'm saying. My thing is peaks.
Truthfully,
At
Pistons.
Jordan's peak, at Jordan's peak, who was touching
The
Jordan?
Pistons, the Rockets were
He has the highest peak of any NBA player all time.
But when you say
Alright,
peak, you
so
talk
that's
about
why
like
he
a
number one to
one-time
me.
moment, right?
No, what?
What I'm trying to understand, like, what is your criteria? That's my question.
My criteria at their peak, who was touching them?
At their peak, at that position.
At that position, at their peak, who was at that time? And at that time, they was playing. Who was touching them at that time? So I'm asking you bringing up.
And exactly. So at their peak, if that's your criteria, right? James Harden at his peak, regular season.
Who was touching him?
I'm gonna answer it right now. The San Antonio Spurs when they bounced him out. At his peak, his highest performance, at his strongest level, he was playing against regular season guys, right? That's when he got those numbers. And then when we know how this works. It goes from regular season and then it goes to the playoffs.
Really
so you get 8
bad.
teams. So now the 8 teams in your Western Conference, you're playing against those teams. He played against the OKC Thunder. He beat them. This is his peak, as strongest he's ever been. And then he played the Spurs and he lost 4-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
And
at his peak, he lost in the second round, and we're ranking him at 4.
So now I'm reversing the question. What did AI do to be ranked that high for you?
AI is cool. So AI, I'm judging AI. I'm not judging him off his. I'm not judging AI off his peak. I'm judging him off of his career.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Let's get it. No, let's get it.
That's my criteria off of their career performance and their impact. You know, when you do all the time, you talk about impact. You talk about
Explain the AI.
AI. He has his whole career. He has the number one option that he was. He has the height disadvantage against him. He has the scoring outburst. He has the volume shooting that he did. And he's also.
Was they good?
And he's all. It was good enough. It was better than James Harden as a solo star, and he was able to compete against the Lakers, or at least beat the Vince Carter Toronto Raptors in the conference finals.
I agree with you, right? And I'm sorry, guys, but I have to. I'm off the Remy Martin. And I'm going to be honest. For me, right? This shit's got to stop. It's the leg brains for me, baby. AI had the most elite brains in the league. And James Harden is running around here with the what the fuck doodle brains on, nigga. So cultural impact, give me a fucking I, nigga. I didn't stutter, nigga. Right. Fuck is you talking about, nigga?
Yo, so the nigga said the brain.
Right, that's his criteria, bro.
So now let's come back to it. Let's come back to it. So AI, I keep bringing up the finals against the Lakers. So AI didn't beat the Lakers. Why?
He didn't have enough talent around him.
He's 6 foot.
What?
He didn't have enough talent around
Alright, so
him.
let's bring it back to my James Harden conversation. Going up against the Golden State Warriors without Iguodala. Why doesn't that pertain to James Harden? Let me ask him.
In the Western Conference Finals?
Mm-hmm.
You all know why. And this is not me being funny. Because it's the Western Conference fucking Finals, bro. It would have been totally different if it was the finals.
That's a fact.
It would have been totally different, and you know that, bro. In your heart of hearts, you know that.
Nobody looked at Tatum different when he lost to Steph Curry in the finals, bro. Niggas like, I bet he gonna get back. Nobody in
No,
that.
they
It didn't change
They
nobody's
didn't.
heart. It
They
didn't change
didn't,
no
though.
one's heart. Like, oh,
They didn't.
he's trash now. It didn't. You're like,
They didn't.
Cool. He gonna.
You gotta get his levels to his first round, second round, third round, finals. You gotta beat these teams. You gotta go through these games. You just can't go to the third round and play a good team and say, "Oh, we played these guys."
Like you said, the Golden State Warriors KD team was good.
Great team, whatever, but you gotta beat these
Still
teams
gotta
if you
go
want to
through
be number 4 shooting guard of all time.
So what great team? I'm asking you, what great team did AI go through?
To get to that finals?
That was a good run. You can say the
Stop
Pacers.
doing that. Stop doing
That
that.
Pacers team was pretty solid.
Y'all so heavily.
Both of them didn't get through no great teams.
Y'all so
But
heavily
what did you
into ring culture that y'all prefer.
AI has no ring, so what ring culture?
Y'all-
Both
hold on,
of them
listen. Y'all
both
so-
of them
y'all
didn't
so-
beat both guys didn't beat any great teams. So now we're equal. So now what's the next?
So what differentiates AI from James Harden for
Culture.
you?
Better career.
What makes him a better career? Because AI, when it comes to playoff performances,
I'll tell you.
besides that trip to the finals against LA, what playoff performances he could tip his hat to?
Oh,
AI.
this nigga's crazy.
AI, and we talking Philly, we talking Denver. When he made it there, and you said it yourself, when Chauncey Billups got to Denver, that's when they got to the Western Conference Finals. AI, what you said about AI when he got to Denver?
So AI,
what you said about AI?
AI 2001 when he made it to the finals, that wasn't anything to play for.
No, if James Harden's trip to, if James Harden taking Golden State's KD, sorry, he lost in 7 instead of 5 in the finals. If y'all ain't counting that playoff run, y'all keep
But James Harden, co-star
I got one
was Chris
better.
Paul.
I got one better for you.
Allen Iverson co-star was who?
The defense. That defense, Dikembe
Fucking
Mutombo
Derek
was
Coleman,
anchoring.
nigga.
Hold on.
Derek
Hold on. That defense that Dikembe Mutombo was anchoring.
And wait. So
How many
they
buckets
wasn't
was he
playing
scoring?
defense over there.
He was that defense wasn't holding teams to 70 points.
They wasn't playing defense in
With
Houston?
Ariza
So
there,
Ariza,
yes.
TJ Tucker.
They were playing
PJ
what?
Tucker there, yes. They were one of the best.
They
defensive
were
teams,
playing
bro.
defense, but on there's two sides of the ball. What they were doing on the offensive end?
What was AI's team doing on the offensive end? There's two sides of the ball.
But that's what I'm asking you.
But
Y'all
that-
not holding. I mean, y'all putting AI in the top 4, but then discrediting James Harden for going through the same failures.
I didn't discredit him.
Either, but what I'm trying to tell you
Because
is,
James Harden also got a finals in his list,
I hear what you.
and he lost in 6.
He wasn't.
No. What was he? What was he?
So
What was he?
so was
He was
Joe
a bench
Dumars.
guy.
So was Joe
He was a
Dumars.
bench guy.
So was Joe Dumars.
He wasn't winning.
He wasn't not
holding that
winning.
to. I'm not holding that to Harden at all. Nigga, it wasn't your team, bro. I'm never putting that on him ever. So everything else, yes, bro. But the OKC, nigga, you was young, you 6'8". This ain't even your squad, bro. You come off the bench, bro. The fuck? I can't look at him and be like, oh, this is it. Nah, hell no.
I got a question for you. Since we're so heavy in ring culture, I want to take.
I only said that because y'all would have rather lost. I mean, y'all consider losing in the finals in 5 games more of an achievement than losing in 7.
Let me ask you.
I'm saying they both on the same level.
Let me ask you this. AI has a statue.
Yeah.
A bad statue. Where's Harden's statue going?
That's a
Daryl,
question.
he spent 10 years in Philadelphia as the number 1 pick.
No. Where's James Harden's statue going?
That was their baby boy.
I don't give a fuck about that. Where's James Harden's statue going?
Where in that team OKC where James Harden was a baby boy at?
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting a statue there. He only spent 4 or 5 years there.
So where else would he get one?
Where's he getting one?
He hasn't.
You have him on your list as 4.
He hasn't spent enough time.
That's a good one.
He hasn't spent enough time in a franchise to be considered like.
Jerry West is the logo.
That's a
Hakeem don't even have a statue in Houston.
One day.
Hakeem owns Houston.
Yeah.
No.
Listen. How many years did Shaq play for Orlando?
Stop it.
Max
Well,
Gore,
like
really?
4-4.
And he finally got a jersey up there?
You comparing Shaq's, and then Orlando wasn't doing that. Orlando wasn't retiring jerseys.
Why do
They
we
was
got
hiring.
James Harden at 4?
Why you got yeah?
I'm saying I don't got AI 4.
What
you got, AI?
I got winners first, and then I got James Harden around Allen Iverson and Reggie Miller, and I think that's the appropriate comparison.
And I think it's fair.
That's
I
an
think it's
appropriate
fair.
comparison,
think
but
it's
I
fair.
wouldn't have them at 4 because you got people who won. You got people.
I'll have them at 4.
I'll explain why I have him at 4 truthfully, and it's not
Alright.
only basketball for me. Like, I agree with D. It's more so about what do you do off the court too. For me, when I look at a player, I like what you do on the court and what is your impact off the court. That's why a player like Kyrie now is somebody I fuck with heavy because nigga, you have to cook in between the lines. When I'm outside, I'm impacting like this too. So
Oh yeah,
for me,
of course,
I like
of course,
that.
of
That's
course.
really what it is.
I didn't have a problem with y'all list. Like I was perfectly
And I don't
fine.
I love Harden.
I was perfectly fine with y'all list and shit. I would just
I got to stir it
I
up.
needed to know what differentiated him
bro.
James Harden from AI.
We here, bro.
I think they comparable.
That's actually really
and
good.
it's really all about who you
Because-
perform. But I like AI better. I think AI did it. I think AI.
And I'm surprised by that actually.
That's a good
I
poll.
mean, they both play style wasn't winning basketball, so this is the reason why. And they didn't do anything in the playoffs. They was regular season players, and then when it came to the playoffs, they underperformed. So this is the reason why I say they like in the same ranges.
I just to me, I'm not as and I was before until I started really thinking about it, watching situations and shit like that. I'm not so heavily into ring culture anymore and shit because there's so much that comes into winning the chip. When you compare players and you start bringing in chips and shit like that, players like Dirk come to mind. Players like KG came to mind. Because to me, while I was watching the game of ball growing up, KG without a ring would have been KG. Dirk without a ring would have been Dirk.
Not really.
Jason Kidd without a ring would have been Jason Kidd.
That's my God.
And I don't need a ring. I don't need them winning a ring to validate what the type of player they were. I don't. And that's why and it's funny because I was so heavily into ring culture before, and then talking to all these heads and stuff like that, and I started realizing it. I can't be that because sometimes the game is unfair to to the superstars who's playing.
But
And there's situations.
Sports is not about fairness. Sports is about dominance.
Exactly.
So it's about, in order to dominate, you gotta win. And when you hop on the
It
basketball,
depends on the league, though. You can't dominating in football is
but
completely
we talking
different.
about
than-
basketball.
No,
Basketball's
no, I'm
a
saying
system.
like the dominating in depends on the era. It also depends on situation. You can't dominate. Let's say LeBron. LeBron can dominate all he wants until he runs into a better team, like he did when he was running into that. And I'm not gonna say
that's the reason why LeBron is not the ultimate player of all time.
that's a
Well, he's
no.
not
Hold on,
the
that's
ultimate
a
player.
that's a
That's a
different
whole other
conversation.
thing.
But it's not a whole other thing.
That's a different conversation. I'm saying
And I'm ready for that one.
Just a counter argument. It is all about winning at the end of the day. Even
That's
if
for
you
you.
want-
For you.
Even if
For
you
you.
want
For everybody.
No, it's not.
You can talk about NBA, or if you want to drop it down to pick up basketball, if you drop it down to the simplest
Right.
form, right? When you talk about winning, if we go to the park right now, we play ball. We play today, right? We go.
That's the main.
I ain't getting off the
Real quick,
court.
we go play basketball right now, right? Us four, and one more dude. We play 5, right? Boom. We lose, right? And then that 5th dude, the dude that we was playing with, he's on our court. He takes the L's with us. The next day we come, now he got next, right? And now we come on the court. I'm not picking y'all niggas up. I'm not picking y'all because we lost. Yeah, you can shoot. Yeah, you can get hella rebounds. Yeah, your post game is crazy. But we lost.
No, and
But now, if you change the story up, where it's just like we ran that same thing and we won, and now he got next the next day. Hell yeah!
that's and I'll agree with that. But the reason I'll give you a situation. I seen Jimmy Butler take Duncan Robinson to the finals. Not once, but twice. You know what Pat Riley did?
What?
Run it again. There's no way you watching a superstar taking your team to the finals twice with Duncan Robinson, and you tell yourself,
I can't go off Facebook.
I'm not going to update his team and shit. Like, we just going to run it back. But then 10, 15 years, we're going to blame Jimmy.
I can't hold on.
We going to blame Jimmy.
You right?
And
We not, bro. This is a terrible example. This is not winning.
Listen.
Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat is not an example.
Yeah,
of
that's
winning.
now that yes.
Listen what I'm saying.
Let's talk about the Golden State
No.
Warriors. They are winning.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying,
AJ.
though. We will blame the player. We will blame the player. As much as we are going to look 10, 15 years from now, we're going to be like, Jimmy ain't winning. In those years, like, how you make the finals twice and they win it like after. I've seen it in real time, where he'll be like, yo, I made it to the finals twice. Y'all ain't going to give me no help. It's like, nah, you good. You good. You
Run
you
it.
good.
But you don't understand.
Derek is going to
But
look
you know-
back 15 years from now and tell me the context will be Jimmy didn't win.
Yeah, you know why? Because you're not understanding that there's other variables in this NBA game is called free agency.
Oh, but that's not on the players.
Yes, it is on the player. LeBron James made it okay for everybody to make whatever the
Famous.
decision that they wanted to do.
Public.
You
No,
can do whatever the
the
fuck you want to do.
decision.
You don't gotta play for Miami.
But not all players is LeBron James.
Niggas want to do that.
How many
Jimmy Butler doesn't have to play for Miami.
Dame tried.
If they don't upgrade his team, he don't gotta play for Miami. He
Oh,
can be a
so-
winner anywhere else.
So
If he
do the
can't win,
switches.
do whatever you want to do to win. If you want to talk about Jimmy Butler and his winning abilities, then let's talk about him
Right.
winning. If he doesn't win on Miami Heat and we want to call him, label him as a winner, I'm expecting him to go elsewhere to win.
Right.
But
Like
if
he
he
did.
decides to
Come
stay
to
there,
Milwaukee,
if he
baby.
decides to stay there and lose,
That's
then
on
that's
him.
what he is.
Wow, he's right, bro. He's right, my nigga.
I
He's
don't-
right,
I don't
bro.
agree with it.
We don't look at Jimmy Butler and blame Pat Riley.
But
Like,
Like I
will
said, if Dirk could have stood in Dallas his whole career,
Right.
and if he would have retired with no ring, he would
Jimmy,
have
this
still
is
been
Dirk
Jimmy's
stayed in
14,
his
bro.
Dirk stayed in his career. Dirk
So
stayed
let
in
me ask a
Dallas
question
and
about
won.
that. It's off topic a little bit, but whatever. If Dirk never won that chip, is he still better than Barkley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Me,
tied up.
yeah.
It's tied up because if anything,
Dirk can't bring the ball
Bro,
like Barkley.
I
Dirk is impact.
Bro,
Bro, KD
bro.
does that same
See,
shot.
What about Barkley's impact? Because of Charles Barkley.
But Charles ain't win one
I'm
either.
talking
He
about
didn't.
on the floor.
I'm talking about on the floor too. Without Charles
Daryl.
Barkley, hold on, let me finish. Without Charles Barkley, we don't get Kevin Garnett. Charles Barkley was the first forward we saw run the floor like that, with everything that he could bring to the table. Right or wrong? True or
No,
false?
you're right. But to me, Dirk is better than Charles Barkley.
Why?
Because what Dirk could do as a one, and I'm not saying Charles, once again, I'm not disrespecting Charles Barkley, but Dirk, what he can do at that size,
Barkley was an undersized power forward.
yeah, but he wasn't a 7-footer to shoot.
Over niggas.
That's all he can
Over
do.
niggas. That's the difference.
Okay,
You
so he
can't-
can shoot.
You can't teach what Dirk do.
can't
That's
teach
what I'm
that.
saying.
You can't teach shooting?
You can't teach a 7-footer to shoot like that.
Dirk got
Really?
Dirk, somebody taught him to
Really?
shoot.
No,
Really?
I'm saying you,
So-
you don't teach 7-footers every day to shoot
So
like that.
let me ask you a
But he had to
question.
shoot a coach.
Let me ask you a question.
No,
So if he, it's not like he did it himself. He had to shoot a coach.
Yeah,
So
somebody
why,
taught him.
why all them shoot? Why them bigs that came around Dirk?
They don't have that shooting coach.
So
why
let
didn't
me
you go higher?
so let me ask you a question.
Because he's getting paid by Dirk.
You can hire the same way people paid Hakeem is the same way you can pay shooting coaches. They're not
Yeah.
gonna deny the money.
No, but
They're not gonna deny
that's
the money.
that's a different conversation.
But outside-
Like, that's why we talking ifs. Like
No, but
I'm not
that's
about
what
to
I'm
debate
saying.
ifs.
That's it.
I'm not debating it.
Either-
Keep going.
So besides the shooting, Dirk has everything else over Barkley.
He got the fadeaway better than Barkley.
He has rebounds better than Ball.
No,
And he's undersized.
he wasn't that guy.
He wasn't that guy.
Dirk wasn't like.
He's 7 foot.
Yeah, but his game is. If you
I know what his game is, and I love Dirk.
yeah,
But
you taking Barkley over Dirk? How you thinking about it is your question. You defending Charles Barkley. This is coming from somebody who told me KG was better than Duncan without the rings.
I
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
Dirk over Charles
Yeah.
because
I did say that.
Dirk
And
was
you heavily in ring culture.
I'm
That's
not
what
having-
bothers me about
I'm
it.
not
Like,
having ring
so
culture.
if KG didn't win the ring in Boston, would you have looked at him the same?
For me, no, because I'm a big Kevin Garnett fan. He's my second favorite player of all time.
And I'm saying if he didn't win the ring, would you have looked at him the same way?
For me, no, because that's my guy.
So you would have.
But he would have been viewed differently by everybody else.
Not me.
I hear you.
I ain't care about that chip.
I hear
KG,
you.
Voice of
Nah,
Harlem,
man.
you said this was ever like.
I hear
care
you.
about that shit.
But-
that chip solidified him.
But
He was just-
there's a lot of
because
But-
he should have because he was just a good player after around that time.
yes,
Yeah.
but there's still a lot of
that
players.
That chip changed him into a champion.
KG.
There's still a
We
lot
talking
of
about-
people that wouldn't put Kevin Garnett over Karl Malone if he didn't win that championship.
Right, absolutely.
That's a fact.
And
Yeah.
So let's be
still got
real.
Karl Malone
Let's
over
be
KG.
super
Let's be super
What do you
real,
mean,
Jay.
people? You would
In
have
general.
had Malone over KG.
You just had two.
You're not talking about other people. When you had,
They just sat here and said that.
when you had Karl Malone over
You can
KG,
still put Karl Malone over KG.
I'm not,
before or after
are you
the
doing
shit.
it?
Are
you doing it?
I gotta assess it.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
I
Me,
gotta
no.
assess it.
Are you doing it?
No, I gotta assess
So
it.
what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Hey, look.
Y'all acting like y'all know who Karl Malone is.
Right.
That's the shit. Y'all
I didn't say.
Karl Malone.
Did we say that? We said anything about Karl
No,
Malone?
so why we saying would you pick like it's
I'm
something,
asking you.
No,
I'm
but,
asking
no, but
you.
it's something that you gotta assess. It's
I'm
not
not-
something
I'm not-
that's-
I'm not
that's-
assessing
Let's think
anything.
about
Yeah,
this.
that's what you're saying.
Let's
You're
think
saying
about
it's not
this.
something worth discussing. So that means you easily putting KG
What
over
point
Karl.
guard-
That means you don't know who Karl is.
Hold on.
He not-
Hold on. What point guard did KG play
Rondo.
with for 10 years?
Stephon Marbury.
For
Yeah.
10?
This nigga Karl Malone had John Stockton for 9 years. I'm not saying I'm holding that against him, but what I'm saying is he had the stability, bro.
Yo, KG
If
was
you know
guarding.
anything about what they did
Daryl,
on the
KG
offseason,
was
they
guarding
worked out
1
together.
through
Who's leading the
5.
workouts? Karl
Give
Malone
me
or John
20.
Stockton?
Oh, bro.
I'm not debating that, Jay.
Right.
I'm not debating that.
So who's
but
leading
there's
the
people
discipline?
out there that will say if
Right.
Kevin
So if
Garnett
anything,
never won that
Stockton had Karl
championship,
Malone.
there is no
So
question
let's
that
not let
Karl
Karl Malone
Malone
is
is
that
better.
guy. He had the joke show. He
Daryl.
had the post game. They played through Karl Malone.
23,
They didn't play through
guarding 1
Stockton.
through 5.
They
I
didn't work through
agree.
Stockton in the offseason.
I do not
Everything was
disagree
through
with
Karl.
you.
But the thing
But
is,
before
like,
he
but
won
they
that
didn't.
chip, that's the argument. Because Karl Malone has
I'm
the
making a
scoring.
good-
He has John Stockton. He has the stability.
You got Karl
Before the
Malone.
chip, that's what the talks were.
you got the stability, bro. You
The
have a
stability.
nigga.
The stability.
To your point about Chris Paul, James Harden, bro. Chris Paul's the ultimate quarterback, bro. If we talk about football, he is the ultimate quarterback, bro. Don't you feel like that? Just having, oh, this nigga's a great quarterback. Just having that, you don't feel a little safer? You know what I mean? Like, it's something like that. KG, I ain't gonna say Stephon Marbury. Come on, yo, Marbury, we love you, but come on, let's be real, bro. That's the nigga you looking to feed KG for 5-6 years? That shit ain't going nowhere, bro.
Either or. Like I said before, I know that Karl Malone made Stockton. If either or, KG gotta make these
Strawberry with the park.
He gotta make these plays at the end of the
I
day.
hear
He
you.
did that with Rondo, if anything. He did that with Rondo.
Yes.
He made Rondo on the court and he made Rondo off the court. It's the discipline.
That's a good
This is
point.
how it's going. Look what they say, going to Paul Pierce school and all of these niggas school. He had to go through.
How he
KG
made
school.
Rondo came in like that.
No, he did not.
Nah.
Rondo was
got developed.
He was
He got
developed,
developed.
developed by everybody.
He was
Rondo
guarded
said-
since the first year.
Rondo said
That doesn't mean you weren't developed. Just because you start don't mean you want to develop
said
there.
that himself through the interviews. He said that he went to everybody's school. He had to go through the Hard Knocks school from KG. He said KG was the one who really took him under his wing. And Andre Miller said it with Karl Malone. He said Karl Malone and John Stockton was always in in these gyms practicing. They was always running pickup basketball. It was always them too. And I was telling Abe, who do you think is leading these workouts? They was working out together, lifting weights. Who do you think is leading these workouts? Stockton or Karl Malone?
Yak ass Karl.
Karl Malone. Who you think is leading the discipline? Karl Malone. If anything, you would say Karl Malone made Stockton. Who did KG make? You know what I'm saying? KG got to develop these plays around him. This is why Karl Malone was second. Like right now, he's third in scoring. You know what I mean? And you can't just say, oh, because he had Stockton. He made Stockton.
I will say
and
this.
He had a midi. He had an ISO game. Jerry Sloan played through Karl Malone. He didn't play through Stockton.
I wish Rashad McCants was.
So Karl Malone over KG. Like stop being crazy.
In them podcasts,
we like KG because we was born in 1990 and we seen 2000 basketball.
That too, but in
Well, Karl's not bringing no ball up though.
In Rashad's podcast, he gives me the shit. They was talking about it, and he was saying that like, yo, KG actually is on that time. I just feel like I don't know. Maybe the people around him.
He doesn't have the character for it. KG's too wild. You know what I mean? Versus like Karl Malone was a little more.
Like, why the fuck I'm listening to this nigga type shit?
Like Karl Malone, you gonna follow what this nigga gotta say, minus his allegations and all of that bullshit. But like you gonna
Nah, his allegations.
We gonna leave that for. Listen, we talking inside the lines, bro.
Oh shit!
But like you gotta understand, this is Utah Jazz. This wasn't a sexy team. These niggas made it. These niggas made it to the Western Conference and they was competing against Jordan and taking them to 6 games. You know, nobody went to 7, but against Jordan, but they took them to 6 games, competing against Jordan, beating the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets won 2, and then they lost to the Jazz the following year. They lost to Karl Malone and Stockton.
But he's a loser.
No, I'm saying Karl Malone he's a winner. He just didn't beat Jordan.
No, he's a loser.
Nah, he a loser.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand the history of basketball.
Nah. From what you said, he a loser.
I didn't call.
Against Jordan. Against Jordan, he is.
It's all about winning at the end of the day.
But
We comparing about KG. This is when you.
But I just said about Jimmy Butler. 10 years from now, they're gonna be like, it was Jimmy.
Right.
But
no,
now
we're not saying it's we're not saying it's called for. We're saying they competed. Y'all honestly, if we're gonna have these conversations, let's act like we know basketball. Let's talk like we know basketball. Everybody in the 90s was good, but they lost to Jordan. So let's not talk about we don't call Charles Barkley a loser. We don't call Clyde Drexler a loser.
They do call him a loser.
Who would be stupid enough to do that?
And he calls the players.
No, but we're not paying attention, bro.
Kenny Smith calls
You
Charles.
just called them. We got
Paying
to take.
attention.
We got
No. But be
No,
real. Kenny Smith calls Charles Barkley a loser every Thursday night.
We have it on tape.
They wanted to take
They,
it. And I'll help you make
but
it
he's
make
not just
sense.
calling James Harden a loser.
Because James Harden is a loser. He's
So
a
what's
regular
Karl Malone?
season player. No,
So
he's
what's Karl
not.
Malone?
Karl Malone is not a regular season player. You're not understanding. I just said it.
How about AI? How about AI?
Bro.
How about AI?
I just said it earlier. If you want to
How about
me,
AI?
bro, regular season play. He didn't
How
perform well
about
in the
AI?
playoffs.
Oh
I just
shit!
told you, regular season play.
He's a
didn't
playoff.
He didn't perform well in the playoffs. I told you, Chauncey Billups last week. He did
We
better
gotta
in
end the
playoffs.
segment,
That's the
y'all.
difference between
Come on.
leadership.
But
Leadership.
AI did.
That's what Karl Malone did. Leadership.
Yo, this
That's what Jimmy
segment
Butler's doing on the heat, but he don't got the
is
team.
getting spicy
Karl's
and spicy
a
every
loser.
day, y'all.
Carl's a loser.
You know.
He's a loser.
Walk with
Just
me.
like Patrick Ewing and
We'll be right back.
Oh,